This is a fun video just on the learning process. There's a concept that the education system teaches when they take people through the master's program of getting a teaching degree, and it's called the Zone of Proximal Development, or ZPD. It simply means that everybody has a zone, and everyone learns a little bit differently. So in our course, what we're doing here with the sales training is I recognize that you guys are not babies learning how to walk for the first time, because in the zone of proximal development, what happens if this church illustrates the baby, you will build scaffolding all the way up the side of the church. You've perhaps seen this, especially in where new construction goes on in Europe. They'll have scaffolding all the way up until they can get it taken care of up here. And then as they develop it, they take the scaffolding down and they bring it lower. Well, the same thing is true with a toddler. Let's say your toddler is learning how to walk for the first time. You hold the toddler's hand or the baby's hand, right? And when the baby walks a little further, you let go. And sometimes the baby falls. But that process of learning is critical. We don't hold the baby's hand until they're 10. That's over scaffolding, right? We have parents who become helicopter parents because they're over scaffolding. We have 2 parents in jail right now because they over scaffold their child into a college university illegally. The idea here is that we're going to scaffold down as far as we can go to maximize learning. We want to be able to create a zone of development based upon your learning skills. Well, this is what's going to happen. In the process, everybody should have a coach. I have coaches. So the idea is that a more knowledgeable other doesn't mean they're better than you. It simply means that they know something you don't know. Tiger Woods has a coach. Tiger Woods is a better golfer than his coach. But the coach is a more knowledgeable other, or an MKO in that moment, because the coach can show Tiger what to do and what not to do. That's my role. I'm really good at listening to what's going on, and I know what works in that space. I'm applying for the job of your MKO, a more knowledgeable other. This is what's going to happen in the learning environment. I already know it's going to happen because it happens repeatedly. There are 3 areas of learning. Area number 1 is your comfort zone. It's familiar. It's what you know. It's what you're coming in with. That's your bias. But notice how small that comfort zone is. Area number 2 is your learning zone. It's where we want to have that ZPD, that zone of proximal development. It maximizes what you're doing. I'm coming in as the MKO to expand that learning zone. The learning zone is roughly 10% that exceeds what you already know. According to some experts, as soon as you hit between 5 and 10% of what you perceive you know, you're going to move into fight or flight. This is the zone here called chaos. That's the fight or flight zone. In chaos, you're going to just you'll explode out and you'll get resistant, rebellious, or you'll go back into comfort and hunker down, fight or flight. We want to maximize the space in number 2. We want that space eventually to overcome the comfort. Why? Because as a lifelong learner, when you get new knowledge, new information, it doesn't shut you down because it's outside your comprehension. It simply opens up the avenues to ask more questions. You're going to get frustrated because it's different. That's it. It's a new thing. When you rode your bike the first time, it was frustrating. If you learn how to, anyone who plays golf understands you never get out of a comfort zone. There's no such thing as a comfort zone in golf. The idea is we want to move to a learning zone. The zone of proximal development means that it's my job to work with you to scaffold it to the level you want it scaffolded. Most of this is self-learning. You're going to do the reading on your own. You're going to answer the questions. You're going to watch the videos. You're going to listen to the podcasts. And the whole process here is you're trying to grow as fast as you can within a zone that allows you to learn. If we start exceeding that 10% of what you already know, we run the risk of moving you into a chaos zone, resistance, and or shutting down in a comfort zone. So that's the whole purpose behind this one. I'm asking you to be open-minded and try to expand that comfort zone so it's much more of a learning zone. Hopefully this helps. Okay.